Hi everyone, in today's video I'm gonna talk about a concept that, let's coin it the phrase, the 4 rules of JFK. So this is something that I advocate for players to try to go abide, especially if you are a mediocre player, fairly new, or even if you have played this for several years like I have. And it is that, as we all know, we can prefer to pick a side when we play online. We can be on the player 1 side left or the player 2 side right. And this is something that they implemented in Tekken 7, that we can select which side we prefer to play on. And one of the downsides with it is actually that this is Tekken 7 and Tekken 8 are the first Tekkens that both people can actually play on the same side. And that makes it so that you get some weird interactions with your opponent. So me personally, I would really like it so that we could not pick a side when we want to play online. That is going to be randomized and you need to stick with it. Because after Tekken 7 and onwards, we have noticed that a big portion of the player base have a preferred side, and they know about this and they have been neglecting this other side. So if you look at Tekken World Tour tournaments, you're going to see that you always see in the beginning that they do a rock, paper, scissors, and most of the players on the planet seems to be preferring to play on the player 1 side. So the 4 rules of Tekken is that these are 4 concepts that I recommend that you guys follow. And the first rule is actually from a player called Klepto. So the first rule is that which side you're going to be playing on is dictated with which date it currently is. So he made up the rule that I try to preach about, is that on uneven dates, so today I'm recording this on an uneven date, you play on the player 1 side, left side. But on even dates, you have to play on the player 2 side. So that's the first rule of JFK. And this is going to make it so that it's going to be a bit randomized for you personally, that it's the date that decides which side you're supposed to be playing. And in the long run, it's going to make it so that you're going to be more efficient on both sides. So that's the number 1 rule. The second rule, then, is that I recommend that you spend about 5 minutes backdash canceling. And the characters that you want to practice the backdash canceling is going to be Brian, Nina, or Paul. Those 3 characters has a backsway, a quarter circle back, that they get a backsway animation. The other characters don't have this. So when you want to practice a proper Korean backdash canceling, as we call it, pick a backsway character like Brian, Paul, or Nina, and you spend 5 minutes each day just trying to backdash cancel. And the reason why you want to pick Brian and Nina is because if you fail your backdash cancel, you're eventually gonna get that you're gonna get stuck, and then you get this. You get a backsway instead. How to properly learn how to do a backdash cancel. There's so many YouTube videos, so I recommend that you just go to YouTube and search how to learn Korean backdash cancel or backdash canceling, BDC. I try to point out that when you do your backdash canceling, the down back input, as we can see here, the first one I held down back for 4 frames, then it was 3 frames, then it was 4 frames. That means that I was vulnerable for mid attacks for 4 frames there, then 3 frames, and then 4 frames. So even though backdash canceling is a good way of getting away from your opponent, you can't forget that you're actually doing a technique that makes you vulnerable to mid attacks for a short period of time. So while you're practicing your backdash cancel, try to minimize the amount of time that you're holding down back. So here we have 4, 3, 4. And there I got a backsway. I failed. So here I tried to do it quicker. So now it's 2, 4, 4. 2, 3, 3. So practice this 5 minutes each day. And like I said, remember that if it would be an even date, you need to practice it on the other side. So yeah, as we can see here, it's 5 frames, 3 frames, 4 frames, 6 frames. So my backdash cancelling on the player 2 side here is weaker than my player 1 side. So I've been slacking. So that's the second rule. The third rule I have is one that I have also made a YouTube video about, is that I recommend that you spend 10 minutes a day in the beginning, or afterwards when you've been doing this for a long period of time, that you have the date decides which side you're supposed to be playing on. That's the number 1 rule. Second rule is that you practice 5 minutes of backdash cancelling, and then 5 to 10 minutes of throw break practice. And I usually have Dragono as my opponent. Oh. And then you pick his 1 throw, reverse victory clutch, 2 throw, victory clutch, and his 1+2 throw. Then in the beginning I recommend that you have the intervals on shuffle, but if you feel that it just makes the throw break practice longer, you can switch to short if you want to, but we're gonna have it on shuffle. So then you hold forward, and let Dragono try to throw you. And you do this for 5 to 10 minutes every day before you start playing your games. So this is your warm-up routine, so to say. Okay, I tried to press 2, I was late. 1+2. 1+2. 2. 1. 2. 2. So you do this 5 to 10 minutes a day before you start playing the game. Like if you hit ranked or playing with your friend or whatever you do, this is your warm-up. And the fourth, do I have it set correctly? The fourth thing that I recommend that each one of you do is that you spend about 5 minutes of just practicing your staple combos. Let's see if I can... I'm not a Brian player, so I'm just goofing around now, but let's see. I think you can do it. Let's take a character that I can actually play instead. So, for example, if I would play King, the things that I would practice would be his hop kick combo, his full crouch down 4-2 combo, his back 1 combo on count it, for example. So let's go for a hop kick combo. Missed my shining. Maybe I do something fancy. What? A bit more damage. Then a bit fancy full crouch combo. Oh, missed my shining. Maybe you want to practice a travel distance combo with King. So this is something that I recommend, that you warm up by just doing your normal combos. And like I said, with King I would probably practice this counted back 1-2 combo here. This is the damage if you do shining immediately. And I got a bit more by making it slightly harder. So yeah, the 4 rules are: The date is going to decide which side you're supposed to be playing on. And this is something that a lot of people would not like hearing. But the thing is that you need to be, in order to view yourself as a good player in Tekken, you can't just be that you can only play on one side. So don't be like most people, a player one phony. So the rule that I have is that on uneven dates, play on one side. On even dates, play two side. Second thing you should practice is about 5 minutes a day that you do some backdash canceling. And try to look at the command history to see how many frames are you actually inputting down back, and can you do a conscious effort in order to reduce that amount of frames that you're actually going to be vulnerable to mids when you're doing a backdash canceling. Third thing, 5 to 10 minutes of throw break practice versus Dragunov. Otherwise, I recommend Nina, because her one throw and two throw are also both 11 frames, so they're a bit quicker. Other characters that you can also practice versus when it comes to throw breaks are going to be Devil Jin, Jack, Warang, Paul. But in the beginning, I don't recommend practicing versus King, because that's a whole nother discussion in itself. And the fourth thing that you should be doing before you hit ranked or playing your matches or whatever in warm-up, as a warm-up, is just practice your staple combos, so you feel confident then in doing them. So those are the 4 rules of JFK. Date decides the side, do some backdash canceling, do some throw break practice, and do your staple combos. So that's just a tip I have for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have fun and take care, everyone. Bye bye.